you're going to need something to munch on for this one. So head on over to rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment of beef and bacon jerky, buffalo ranch popcorn, and butter toffee peanuts. With all signs pointing to Jennifer Hudson and Common being in a relationship, many of her fans think she is making a terrible mistake. Terrible mistake. But to give you some better insight into why people think this romance is doomed, we have to take you back to 2018, when Common and political commentator Angela Rye ended their relationship after less than a year of dating. During an interview with Angie Martinez, Common said he went to therapy following their breakup to find out why he was repeating the same patterns in his relationships, which includes failed romances with Erykah Badu, Taraji P. Henson, Serena Williams, and his daughter's mother, to name a few. Therapy taught him better communication skills, and he also received some relationship advice from First Lady Michelle Obama. During an interview with Good Morning America, Common said, "One great thing she told me as I was going through this journey was that you have to understand you're not going to get anybody that's perfect because you're not perfect." So, at his big age, Common was barely grasping the fundamentals of what it meant to be a good partner and how to sustain a healthy relationship. But nonetheless, he was doing the work in order to open himself up to finding true love, and we applaud him for that. He details his journey to overcome his inner struggles in his memoir, which we've linked in the description box. In his book, he describes his type. He loves strong and powerful women who have overcome something in their lives. He gravitates to that type of woman because it reminds him of his mom and how she had to be strong for their family, despite going through a painful relationship with his father. According to Common, his relationships typically start out like this. He likes to pursue a woman, and he's constantly chasing the feeling of butterflies in his tummy. He loves for a powerful woman to give him all of her attention because it makes him feel powerful and important, and it fuels his addiction to love. But he always has a fear that something is going to go wrong, or his partner is going to let him down or show a part of herself that he'll be unable to deal with. He has a fear of abandonment, which stems from his father not being around while he was growing up. Through deep conversations with his therapist, he was told that he has an avoidant attachment style as it pertains to intimacy. This means he craves the feeling of being loved and supported, but he can also feel the compulsion to distance himself when people get too close. He always finds himself unable to cope when he realizes he's created unrealistic expectations in his relationships. In his memoir, he writes, "I get tired of the person or their issues, and I feel like this thing isn't going to work out, and then I have to go through the pain of hurting somebody and pulling away." According to Common, his breakup speech goes a little something like this. "Look, this isn't going to work for me. I don't want to continue in this relationship because I don't believe I want to be in a long-term commitment." Once his relationship is over, instead of taking time for himself, he'll jump into the next situation because it makes him feel needed and wanted. The good part is Common is aware of his faults and is actively trying to do better. He even told Good Morning America in 2019 that he's ready to be a loving husband to the woman of his dreams. That same year, while working on the film The Kitchen, he started hanging out with his co-star, Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany told Access Hollywood that Common was pursuing her hardcore. And as we now know, that's typical of him because he loves the chase. Tiffany kept him in the friend zone though, so Common, who admits he bounces from one relationship to the next, rekindled his romance with Angela in the summer of 2019. 1 month after announcing their reconciliation, Angela confirmed they had broken up again. During a December 2019 episode of her podcast, she said things came to an end when she expressed a desire to have children, and the father of one wasn't sure about taking that next step. At the start of 2020, he had finally convinced Tiffany to give him a chance. By the spring of 2020, they were officially an item, and they even quarantined together. Even though they made a cute couple and Tiffany was completely smitten, not everyone was on board with their new romance. During an episode of her Wendy at Home YouTube show, Wendy Williams said, "Tiffany, the thing is, don't fall too hard in love. Common is not good with women." But by that point, Tiffany was too far gone. Thankfully, it appeared like the feeling was mutual. During an August 2020 interview with Live with Kelly and Ryan, Common said he'd never been happier in a relationship. But would it last? Not a chance. Tiffany expressed a desire to adopt or foster children during an episode of Common's podcast. And from there, it appeared that Common had pumped the brakes big time on their relationship when he didn't invite Tiffany to spend Thanksgiving with his family. Was he pulling away and preparing to drop Tiffany like a hot potato? You betcha. Tiffany's 41st birthday was approaching, and she told Extra she was hoping Common would take her on a hot air balloon ride, followed by a nice dinner. When her birthday arrived that December 3rd, she shared some flowers he had given her, but he was nowhere in sight. Tiffany continued expressing her desire to be a mother and even took parenting classes. During a September 2021 interview with the Smartless podcast, she also entertained the idea of getting married, but she made it clear she wanted Common to propose to her with some real estate, like an entire apartment complex. When a photographer caught up with Common and asked if a proposal was on the way, he said Tiffany was a wonderful woman, but he was taking their relationship day by day and added, "We're not discussing marriage right now." Uh-oh. Now, if Tiffany had taken the time to read Common's book, she would have realized that any kind of pressure to take him out of his comfort zone is a recipe for disaster. In November 2021, Common dumped her. A month after their breakup, Common appeared on Hollywood Unlocked and called Tiffany one of the best people he had ever met, but their schedules kept them apart. The host, Jason Lee, asked him why couldn't they work around their busy schedules. Common's response was, "I think for one thing, because I care about Tiffany. I want to make sure she is happy, and if I can't keep that happiness, then I didn't want to do that." Now say what now? Yeah, that sounds like some BS. About a week later, Tiffany made an appearance on Hollywood Unlocked and said Common gave her an entirely different reason why he wanted to end things, but she finally understood the warning Wendy Williams had given her. Tiffany said, "Common might be the type of person that never really settles with somebody. Maybe he's like a bee going from flower to flower to flower." Since his schedule was so jam-packed, surely he would remain single and just focus on his acting opportunities and music, right? Yeah, no. Meanwhile, Jennifer got engaged to David Otunga in 2008, and they welcomed their son, David Jr., in 2009. After close to 10 years of dodging questions about when they would tie the knot, they decided to end things. Jennifer made David sign a confidentiality agreement 3 months before they announced their breakup in 2017. So what went wrong? We're unsure, but according to TMZ, David also accused Jennifer of cheating on him with music producer Molly Music. Jennifer was awarded full custody of their son after she accused David of pushing her while she was holding their child. In documents obtained by the Chicago Tribune, Jennifer said David had a history of physical and emotional mistreatment. She was also granted an order of protection, and David was told to pack up and leave their home expeditiously. David denied the allegations, and after the court couldn't find enough evidence of wrongdoing, he was cleared of all charges in January 2018. A month after their breakup, Jennifer accused David of leaking stories to the press to tarnish her image, which was a breach of their confidentiality agreement. In the end, David was issued a gag order to keep their personal business out of the press. They finally agreed to 50-50 custody, and their agreement prohibits either of them from having romantic guests spend the night at their homes. The details of their child support agreement were sealed. Jennifer didn't publicly claim anyone after the end of their relationship. Instead, she focused on work, and in May 2022, she was hired to appear in the movie Breathe, alongside Common. According to a source, they grew close while on set, kind of like what happened between him and Tiffany. In July 2022, they were spotted eating at a Philly restaurant, and an eyewitness said they looked cozy and flirty. Since social media was going bonkers over the mere idea of Jennifer giving Common a chance due to his past, Jennifer addressed the dating rumors by saying, "We shot a film together and he played my husband. We gotta eat in between those moments." But they continued being photographed on various dates, and Common was even spotted picking her up from the set of her Burbank talk show in November 2022. In January 2023, an insider told Radar Online that Jennifer and Common had been friends for years, and things turned romantic while they were filming Breathe. The source added, "Of course he's known as a total flirt, but Jennifer feels there's no harm in that, and she's having fun." In March 2023, Jennifer wished Common a happy 51st birthday and asked her followers to do the same, but they weren't feeling it at all. One online user wrote that Jennifer can do better. Another one stated Common has commitment issues and Jennifer needed to run for the hills.
Run, Forrest, run!
Jennifer's fans aren't the only ones that are feeling some kind of way about this little romance. Tiffany took to her TikTok to respond to a fan who asked about a pair of earrings they reportedly gave to Common to give to her back when they were dating. Tiffany responded,
"Girl, he never gave me no damn earrings. He probably gave those to Jennifer."
Common appeared on the Today Show in June 2023 and was asked about the dating rumors. Although he didn't confirm or deny it, he said he had always been inspired by Jennifer, and she was one of the most beautiful people he had ever met. We can see why he's attracted to her. She actually displays all of the characteristics he likes in a partner. She's a strong and powerful woman who has overcome something painful in her life. We're referring to how she has navigated her way through life after the loss of her mom, brother, and nephew at the hands of her brother-in-law in 2008. And they're both from Chicago, so they have that in common. They're both actors and musicians, although some may argue that Jennifer is more accomplished since she's one of a handful of celebrities who have earned an EGOT, that is, an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and a Tony Award. July 2023 marks 1 year since Jennifer and Common were spotted out on their first date, and it appears that their relationship is still chugging along. Judging by how Common has operated in the past, we all have an idea of how this story will end. But there's always the possibility that things will work out. Maybe Jennifer and Common have found something in each other that they've been searching for all this time. Hey, anything is possible. Do you think things will end well for Common and Jennifer? Let us know down below. And thanks for watching RRG.